Hi YouTube, how you doing? This is Donna LC 4560 coming to you with another video. This is my 128th video. In this video, I'm keeping it real. Alright, the title is How to Know You Are Struggling Right Now. How to Know You Are Struggling. And believe me, on this list, a lot of it applies to myself, to me. Alright, you don't have a car. You don't have life insurance. You don't have health insurance. You don't have dental insurance. And you don't have emergency fund. If something go wrong, that you have at least, some emergency money to help you out with. You don't have a lot of dress clothes or shoes. If someone invites you somewhere to a nice fancy dinner or something like that, you don't have the dress clothes and shoes for it. Okay. You don't have a second income, right? You're struggling with that one income. Okay. And some of you have a second income and you're still struggling. All right. You don't have a second checking account or savings account. I have one of each. But I barely keeps money in it because I have bills that needs to be paid. Okay. You don't have something of value that you can sell upon for emergency. When I say this, I'm talking about like a diamond ring that's worth $2,000, $3,000 that you can at least get 1,000 off of it. So you don't have nothing of value that you can sell for emergency. Okay? You don't have something, I'm sorry, you don't have nothing of value that you can rent or lease. Yeah, rent or lease. You know, pawn is different from renting or leasing it. You don't have anything like that. Okay? You live paycheck to paycheck. Believe me, a lot of us do. You're on a tight budget. Yeah, very tight budget. Yep, you're watching your pennies. You don't have 3 months or more of bill money saved up. A lot of us don't even have 1 month. So you're struggling if you don't have 3 months. Okay. You don't have you have bills you are struggling with to pay. Yeah, a lot of us are. Back school loans, back child support, just back bills, back tickets, different things. All right. You're working a low paying job. That's the main way you know that you're struggling when you're working a low paying job. $14 an hour or less, maybe. Yep. You are eating fast food most of the time. That's letting you know you're not eating healthy. Okay. You're living in a bad or poor neighborhood. Yep. Because you can't afford a halfway decent neighborhood. All right. When your car is 13 years old or older, yeah, and you having trouble with it and can barely keep it up or get it fixed, okay, you are in debt, owing bills and different things, okay. When you are older than 45 and renting a room, yeah, when you 45 or older and still renting a room, that means you can't afford an apartment, somewhere decent to stay. And a lot of people, uh, I don't know if it's because of their record, they might have a bad record, they stay in the hotels. And I know that's expensive. And that's stress on them. Because some of them is paying by the week. Some, I had talked to someone and they told me they was paying daily. And they was working at daily labor. And they would pray that they get out. Because if they miss 2 days out of the week, they couldn't stay at the hotel. So some of your you know, can't even afford a room because a room you got to pay a certain amount at one time. You know, some landlords want it month to month. But anyway, um, that's one of the ways you know you're struggling. You're always looking for a deal. Now, there's nothing wrong with looking for deals, but I mean serious deals. Like put food on the table, you go to food pantries. There's nothing wrong with that. But when you go all the time and that's your way of eating, knowing that you're gonna have food, that you gotta go all the time, 4 or 5 days a week, you're struggling. Okay. You're constantly running out of money. Yeah. You run out of money. If you get paid every week, say you get paid, because I get paid on a Wednesday. Say you get paid on a Wednesday. You broke by Saturday or Sunday. Yeah. You're struggling. You can't afford to take off. No, you can't afford to take off because you're going to lose money. You don't work, you don't get paid. You can't afford to get sick. And that's sad. You can't afford to get sick. Yeah. And we all get sick from time to time and catch colds or a fever or anything like that. And with me, when I get sick with a cold, I don't like taking medicine. So a lot of times my cold might last 4 or 5 days or longer. Yep. And it's starting to get cold now here where I'm at in Orlando, Florida. Yeah. All right. You borrow money from people. Yeah. That's when you know you're struggling and broke when you borrow money. And a lot of times when you borrow it, you know you can't afford to pay it back. You know that. So all of these are ways that you know you're struggling right now. Because I'm struggling right along with you. You know, but it's ways you can get out of it. Like me doing this YouTube channel. Eventually, I'm gonna see some progress. Eventually, it's not fast. It's gonna be slow, and you gotta have patience. But you gotta also be consistent, be persistent with it, and that's what I'm gonna do. If I don't do nothing else, one thing I know I'm not gonna do, I'm not gonna give up. I'm not gonna give up. I'm just tired. When you tired of being sick and tired, believe me, you will do something about it. All right. Thank you, YouTube. Thank you so much for listening. I really appreciate it. If you subscribe, like, and share. This is Donna LC 4560 on her 128th video. All right. Thank you. Bye bye.